Southern California is a pretty dry region of the state of California that frankly isn't well known for their waterfalls. Not like Central California with the towering behemoths of Yosemite, or Northern California with their lush, intricate waterfalls. But here in the Cleveland National Forest, the southernmost national forest in California, you may be surprised by what you can find. San Diego County, as it turns out, is home to two of my favorite waterfalls in the state of California, but with it being a drier climate, there is a major catch. In order for these to be flowing, there must have been some recent rain. I'm sure many of you have heard about the recent bomb cyclones that have hit California, and my prayers go out to the families affected up north. But down here in San Diego County, the amount of rain we're getting is just fantastic for our waterfalls, which is why I set out to visit Cedar Creek Falls and Three Sisters Falls in January 2023. I had thought about separating Cedar Creek Falls and Three Sisters Falls into two videos, but these waterfalls seem to always be brought up in the same general conversation and are both equally relevant within the Cleveland National Forest. In this video, I will guide you through the process of reaching these two waterfalls, the journey of hiking to these two waterfalls, and some of my favorite features of the waterfalls themselves. Before we get started, be sure to practice leave no trace principles, always of course, but I'm emphasizing it here because as a San Diego resident, these two spots mean a lot to me. Let's dive in first with Cedar Creek Falls.
What's up guys, today we're hiking to Cedar Creek Falls here in the Cleveland National Forest of San Diego. This is a highly seasonal waterfall, but because of all the rain we've been getting the past few days, I'm hoping for some good results at the bottom.
To get here, you'll want to navigate to one of two trailheads. One is located just east of Ramona, a 50-minute drive from downtown San Diego. The other is accessible from the north, but requires some pretty sketchy unpaved roads. I would definitely advise against this route since A, it's better safe than sorry, and B, for our sake, the drive is considerably shorter. Unlike Three Sisters Falls, the Cedar Creek hike does require a permit that you could obtain for just a few dollars on Cleveland National Forest's website. There will be people checking at the trailhead, but if you happen to forget it, don't worry, it shouldn't be too big of a deal since there's always plenty of service at the parking lot and the permit system rarely ever fills up. It only really serves as a precaution to preserve the environment. As for the hike itself, Cedar Creek Falls is a 5.6 mile out and back journey with just over 1,000 feet of elevation gain. All Trails rates it as a hard hike, and I can agree only after substantial rainfall when you have to navigate 3 river crossings to get to the falls. The first time I came here in early 2022, this was definitely not the case, and I'd say the hike was simply moderate. Don't be discouraged by the difficulty, as it's a really fun and engaging hike. There's lots of cool mountain scenery as you make your way down the trail. You will be declining all the way out and then hiking uphill on the way back. In that regard, I'd say the way there is quite easy and the way back is fairly strenuous. Once you've reached the valley floor, you might be met with a few river crossings. Again, the first time we came here when the waterfall looked like this, still very impressive, you could easily rock hop without getting your feet wet at the crossings. This may scare off some people, but I live for adventurous technicalities like this. If anything, it only adds to the anticipation since it's an indicator the falls are flowing stupid hard. Do keep in mind that because you have to cross 3 times to get to the waterfall, you also have to cross 3 times heading back, meaning 6 times total. Also, the water is really cold, so be prepared.
Are you having fun?
Oh my god.
How dare you make us do this?
Oh my god, that water is cold. Holy shit.
Oh my god, my feet are so cold.
I know. Last river crossing of the 3, but this is really cold. Very unpleasantly cold. There you go. No more.
Yay.
You did it.
Honestly, I would have done 12 of those river crossings to see Cedar Creek Falls raging as it was today, January 2nd, 2023.
How was that?
Oh my gosh, this is purely amazing. I love it.
It was probably flowing about a quarter as much as this before.
And I thought that was like peak flow.
Yeah, no, and it seemed pretty good. It was a nice waterfall. But this is like over the top. Wow.
To see a waterfall like Cedar Creek Falls in San Diego still to this day blows my mind. You can usually tell a waterfall is flowing hard if the water around you is a brownish yellow, since that indicates that the water level has built up and excessive dirt has collected in the stream, river, or creek. The way back was just as strenuous, just as freezing, and just as fun. With the river crossings, I think Cedar Creek Falls is probably my favorite overall hike in San Diego County. Without it is a little tougher to say, as I think you could make an argument for some others, including Three Sisters Falls. As a whole, the journey to get here combined with the payoff made it an incredible experience, and I'm so proud of my parents for going outside of their comfort zone and braving the water as well. Let's now fast forward to January 12th, 2023. About a week later, it was time to hike to Three Sisters Falls for our first time.
What's up guys, part 2 of the video. We are hiking to Three Sisters Falls for the first time today. Can't wait.
Although Three Sisters Falls are technically only located about 5 miles away from Cedar Creek Falls, the trailheads aren't connected, so driving between them can take a pretty long time. Don't just rely on Google Maps to get you through this one, since it proved to be a real pain this visit. We navigated from San Diego to the Three Sisters Falls trailhead, of which there is only one trailhead, accessible from the south near Descanso or from the north near Julian. Google Maps brought us on the shortest possible route, an hour 25 minutes from our home in the northern part of San Diego. We knew we'd have to traverse several miles of non-paved roads, which for this waterfall is completely unavoidable contrary to Cedar Creek Falls. Therefore, we didn't suspect anything when we were put on Eagle Peak Road, not the road you want to be on. Google Maps will tell you to take a left at which the road is gated off, and then will correct you to take another route that passes right by the second Cedar Creek Falls trailhead that I mentioned earlier. The drive to get there was already pretty sketchy, and then we're told to take another left to continue to Three Sisters Falls, where there is yet another gate blocking a super treacherous, unmaintained road. With no other options, we decided to drive back the way we came and either try this another day from the south or find an alternative route from the north. As we eventually find out, the road you'll actually want to take is Boulder Creek Road, which is the same road that connects the north and south routes. As it turns out, there was a small sign that we had driven past that said Three Sisters Falls with an arrow facing in the only other direction we could have gone, left. Please do yourself a favor and follow these instructions very carefully, since you don't want to waste 45 minutes of drive time on any potentially dangerous roads. We immediately recognized that this was indeed the right way, since it was paved for a considerable amount longer, and even the non-paved roads were maintained quite well. This is definitely easy enough for a 2x2 vehicle, so don't be put off by that. Upon arrival, you'll see the big Three Sisters Falls sign and will park in a dirt parking lot. The Three Sisters Trail is 4.1 miles out and back and is similar to the Cedar Creek hike in that you'll be losing 1,000 feet of elevation gain heading down and gaining all of it coming back up. This one is rated moderate on all trails, which I'd say is pretty accurate. Most of the way there is quite mellow, but there is some rock scrambling at the end, and the elevation gain on the way up can be a lot to handle on a hot day. The hike starts in a straight line all the way until you get to a sign that points to the Three Sisters Falls trail heading left. If you were to continue straight, you'd end up at the top of Eagle Peak, which is not what you want. From here, the trail narrows in and you begin to lose elevation. You'll be greeted by the familiar mountain scenery, and something I particularly enjoyed about the Three Sisters hike was the fact that you can see the waterfalls the majority of the time out in the distance. Arriving at the base of the falls revealed a spectacular 3-tiered beauty about 170 feet tall put together.
Just a heads up, if you're coming up to hike to the upper layer, yeah, it's pretty strenuous and pretty dangerous. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to do this. For me, it's worth it. This is absolutely incredible.
I think it's clear that Three Sisters Falls wasn't flowing nearly as hard as Cedar Creek Falls, which perfectly aligns with the fact that we visited a little over a week later. However, it was still well above average, and each tier of the waterfall was beautiful. Something unique about Three Sisters Falls is the shaping of each of the tiers. The uppermost tier is certainly the most traditional, but the lower two are slanted in a fairly peculiar way. I think it would have been worth hiking to the falls even if only the upper or middle tier existed, but the fact that there's a combined 3 levels of this waterfall makes it super unique and one of the best payoffs on a hike in San Diego. Overall, I love Cedar Creek Falls and Three Sisters Falls pretty evenly, and I think they're both well worth a visit. If you have the chance to do either, I can't recommend enough, but don't just pick one or the other. Take multiple trips if you have to, as both of these waterfalls go together like peas in a pod. I really hope this video helps some of you plan a visit, since I find a lot of other videos to be pretty unhelpful about this sort of thing. Little mistakes like taking a wrong turn on a road you weren't supposed to be on can really put you in a dangerous situation, and it's a mistake you can't make if you come across informative videos like these. With that said, it would mean the world if you could support the channel by subscribing to Travel Dash and liking the video for more videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.